welcome to the Yoga Corner. Today I have a yoga flow to share with you that is perfect for anyone that spends a lot of time working at a desk, but in particular anyone who is working from home, which I know a lot of us are at the moment. And that is just because when we work at home, our desks are usually not set up quite in the right way. Maybe we don't have access to such good office chairs, and in general we spend a lot more time sitting down without moving, which often means that you feel very hunched, you feel a little bit slouchy, and you just feel a bit sluggish. So today we're going to be giving some love to the spine, to the neck, to the front of the body, creating some space and hopefully feeling a lot better when we finish our practice. So let's jump straight into it. We're going to get started sitting down today. So come to find a comfortable seat on the ground. If sitting in a cross-legged position like I am feels comfortable to you, then please feel free to join me in this position. But if not, find any other seated position that feels good to you. The most important thing is just allowing yourself to be comfortable, but also to start thinking about lengthening through the spine. As I mentioned, we often spend a lot of time working at desks, hunching over, leaning forward and working on computers. So we really need to just give ourselves time to consciously correct that, lifting up through the chest and starting to make that spine long again. Thinking about reaching up through the crown of the head, almost as though someone has a string and they're pulling you up so that you're nice and tall. So just give yourself a minute to have a little play around with that. Notice how the body feels here. And then whenever you're ready, close the eyes and just gently start to bring your attention inwards to the breath. Notice the flow of air moving in and out of the body. And just remember that whether you want to use this breath here in our practice today or whilst you're working, maybe feeling the stresses of life at work, that the breath is always there as a tool that we can come back to, something to ground us in the present moment and just to remind us that we can calm down. With calmness in mind, I'd like you to start thinking about deeply breathing in and then making your exhale longer than the inhale. Knowing that when we allow that exhale to lengthen, we allow the body just to know that it's okay to relax. So we'll take a couple of breaths together, focusing on that sensation of lengthening the exhale. So whenever you're ready, let all that breath go. Really allow everything to release. And we'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really nice. Allow yourself to blink the eyes open if you had them closed. And with our next inhale, we're all going to reach the fingertips up above the head, really thinking about lengthening all the way to the tips of those fingers. With an exhale, we're going to find a cactus shape with the arms. So think about bending the elbows, spreading the fingertips, and then allow yourself to squeeze the shoulder blades together to open the chest. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to round forwards, bringing the forearms to touch. Round through the back of the body. Inhale, open up, cactus shape, squeeze through the shoulder blades to open the chest. Exhale, round it forwards, bring those arms together. One more time. Inhale, open through the chest. Really spread the fingertips. Allow yourself to take up as much space as you can. Exhale, bring those forearms to touch. And then whenever you're ready, you're just going to bring the hands down to the ground in front of you, and you're going to roll over and find a tabletop position. So we're finding our hands and knees. Get there however feels most comfortable to you, and then whenever you get there, just think about spreading the fingers nice and wide, stacking the shoulders on top of the wrists, and then the knees underneath the hips. And we're going to start to focus on our spine, giving it the love and attention that it needs and often doesn't get. So warming up through our cat and cows. With our next inhale, we're going to drop the belly. Really allow the belly to drop down towards the ground as you lift the chest, opening the gaze upwards. As you exhale, you're going to reverse that movement, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin to the chest as you push through the hands and dome through the back of the body. Inhale, dropping that chest, opening up through the front of the body. Exhale, rounding down, chin to chest, pushing through the hands to dome through the spine. Close the eyes here and just start to tune in with these movements, moving at your own pace, and just allowing yourself to notice how these movements feel rather than focusing on what they look like. Take one more full cycle of breath. And then come back to a neutral spine. We're going to keep taking those cat and cows, but you might like to add in a few extra movements. If those traditional cat and cows feel good to you, then just stick with them. But if not, think about bringing the hips into it. So as you drop the belly, maybe the hips rotate in one direction. And as you bring the chest to the chin, maybe they move the opposite direction. So you're just allowing yourself to create some space. This is where closing the eyes really helps. Because when we start thinking about what this looks like, we allow ourselves to just get caught up in thinking about what other people might think of these movements. But really, this is all just about how they feel to you. So take one more cycle of breath here. Really get out any wiggles that you need today. And then come back to that neutral spine once more. Think about spreading the fingertips. And then as you're ready, we're going to extend the right leg back behind us. Thinking about planting the toes on the ground and allowing yourself to gently rock forwards and backwards on those right toes. You might feel a nice little stretch for the calves. Although this practice is mostly going to be focusing on the back of the body and also on the neck and the shoulders, the legs can often feel a little bit compressed after spending all day underneath the desk. So just give your legs a little chance to wiggle out here and then pause there. You might stay there just stretching out the calf, that's fine as well. But if not, if you want to challenge your balance, then you might hover the right toes and then reach the left fingertips out ahead. One time only, we're going to inhale here. As we exhale, we crunch left knee to right elbow. Extend it out as you inhale. And then soften hand and knee back down. Really nice. Give yourself a wiggle. You might sit back on the heels, just give those wrists a little shake out. And then come back over. We'll take that on the other side. So this time the left leg is going to reach back behind you. And you're just going to gently rock forwards and backwards. Feeling a little release for that calf on the left leg. Just allowing yourself to wake up that part of the body. Whenever you're ready, you might either stay there, just focusing on that stretch for the calves, or if you want that challenge for the balance, then you might lift that left leg away from the ground and extend the right fingertips out ahead. Use your inhale here to think about extending, and as you exhale, crunch right elbow to left knee. Inhale to extend it back out, and exhale to plant the hand and the knee back down to the ground. Really nice, guys. Think about spreading the fingertips really wide, tuck the toes, and then get ready to peel the hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. In this first downward dog, just think about pushing the weight into the hands, spreading the weight evenly between all of your fingertips, and then you might like to take some small movements. Maybe wiggling through those legs, pedaling it out from side to side. Or you might like to play around with lifting the heels away from the ground, coming up onto the tiptoes, and then sinking those heels back down. Take any movements that feel good to you here. For one more full deep breath. And then slow it down, find stillness. The legs in this downward dog don't need to be straight, and I'd invite you to take a bend in the knees if you feel like your spine is struggling to lengthen. We really want to focus on pushing the weight through the hands and allowing the chest to move back towards the thighs so we can really create length through the back of the body. We're going to take a couple of rolls through this downward dog to wake up the back of the body. So as you inhale, I want you to lift the heels away from the ground as high as you can, coming onto the toes. Bend through the knees, bring the chest back towards the thighs, and then start to roll the spine forwards, stacking those shoulders on top of the wrists. Really good. As you exhale, bend through the knees, send those hips back up to the sky, downward dog. Inhale, we ripple forward, coming onto the toes, allowing the chest to move forwards, finding that plank. Exhale, we bend through the knees, lifting the hips to the sky, downward dog. We'll take that one more time. Inhale, we ripple forward, rolling that chest so the shoulders come over the wrists, plank pose. Exhale, we bend through the knees, lift the hips to the sky, downward dog. Really nice. Take one more full deep breath in. Exhale completely. And with your next inhale, look forward to the hands. We're going to tiptoe the feet up to meet the hands at the front of our mat, finding our first forward fold. You might like to take hold of opposite elbows here and just gently sway the body out from side to side. Thinking about finding release for those hamstrings as you gently sway that body out. And then just bringing your attention to the head and the neck. Allow yourself to shake the head out left and right. Really allowing yourself to release any tension from this part of the body. Soften the fingertips down to the ground. And with an inhale, we lift up halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, soften the chest down. And then root to rise, inhale to sweep the hands up to the sky, lifting tall, finding a nice long line through the body. Exhale, bring the hands together at the heart. Really nice, guys. Really focus on spreading the weight evenly between both feet. And with the next inhale, you sweep the hands back up to the sky. You're going to take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale to lift up, really reaching through those right fingertips. And as you exhale, bend over to the left side of the mat. Really focus on allowing the right foot to plant into the ground. It might want to lift up a little bit, but really try to ground it into the mat. And then think about rotating the chest upwards. So you're reaching up and overhead. Take one more full deep breath in. As you exhale, come back through center. Switch the grips. You take hold of the left wrist with the right hand this time. And inhale to lift up through those left fingertips. Really think about lengthening through the left side of the body. Lifting up and then bending over to the right. Allowing those left fingertips to arc across the body. Thinking about grounding through the left foot and creating space through the chest. Take one more full deep breath in. Exhale to move it back through center. Release the hands down to the sides of the body. With an inhale, you sweep the hands up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Fold your body forwards. Inhale, you lift up halfway, hands to shins. And with an exhale, you fold it back down. Plant your hands on the mat. Your right foot is going to stay exactly where it is, and your left foot is going to step back behind you. Once that left foot steps back, lower the left knee, release the left toes. Walk the hands back towards your right foot and just check in. Make sure that right knee is just on top of the right ankle, so you've got a really nice right angle here. You're going to push the weight through the right foot and inhale to sweep the hands to the sky, lifting into your low lunge. See if you can allow the hips to square off here. So you might be able to roll your right hip back and allow the left hip to come forward slightly. And then allow yourself to soften the shoulders away from the ears, creating space for the front of the body. Take a full deep breath in. As you exhale, open the arms up to find that cactus shape that we had at the beginning of our practice. Still focusing on spreading the fingertips nice and wide. Allow the shoulder blades to move together across the back of the body. Take a full deep breath in. As you exhale, round through the spine, bring those forearms together. Inhale, open the chest up, finding that cactus. Exhale, round through the spine. Really nice, guys. One more time. Inhale, open through the chest. Maybe you look up to the ceiling as you create space for the front of the body. Exhale, you round it forwards, and then allow the hands to soften down, planting them around the outsides of that right foot. You're going to tuck the toes of your left foot and lift the left knee away from the ground. Shift the weight forward, left foot is stepping up to meet the right at the front of the mat, forward fold. With an inhale, we lift up halfway, hands to shins, nice flat back. And exhale, we soften the chest down. Plant the hands on the ground. This time we're stepping both feet back behind us. We're coming to find our high plank. Stack the shoulders on top of the wrists. Think about tucking the tailbone under, reaching forward through the crown of the head and back through the heels. Take a full deep breath in. And with an exhale, lower the knees down to the ground. Release the toes and then use the elbows to guide the chest all the way down to the ground. Really nice. Once you find your way onto the mat, allow the hands to stay in line with the ribs, but bring them out to the edges of the mat. Come onto your fingertips, push the weight through the hands, and then as you inhale, take a rolling cobra, lifting the chest away from the ground. Think about allowing the backs of the feet to be planted into the mat as you lift up through the chest. Exhale, soften the chest back down. Inhale, we push up, lifting that chest away from the mat. Exhale, bend those elbows, soften the chest. Take that again. Inhale, lift through the chest. Notice if you can squeeze the glutes to protect the lower back, but also to find a little bit more lift through the front of the body. Exhale, chest comes back down, really good. This time when the chest comes back down, bring those hands back in directly next to the ribs. Plant the fingertips, tuck the toes and push up either straight through your chaturanga or through your tabletop to lift back up to find your downward facing dog. Once you find that downward dog, feel free to take any movements again. Movements are completely optional here, so just take them if they feel good to you and if they're going to help you to find a little bit more release. And then find a little bit of stillness. Again, allowing yourself to tune back in with the breath, taking a full deep breath in and a full exhale. And then thinking about pushing the weight through the hands. Can you guide your chest in towards your thighs as you think about reaching the hips up to the sky? Nice work, guys. Take a full deep breath in. Exhale completely. And with your next inhale, we look towards the hands. We're going to step up to the front of the mat. So if you'd like to take those tiptoe steps that we took last time, that's completely fine. If not, you might be able to take 2 big steps. So the feet meet the hands at the front of the mat in a forward fold. With an inhale, we lift up halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, we fold it down. And then rooting to rise, we inhale to sweep the hands all the way to the sky, lifting nice and tall. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Really nice. We inhale to sweep those fingertips up. And exhale, we hinge it from the hips, folding down. Inhale lifts you halfway, hands to shins. And exhale, we soften the chest down. Plant your fingertips. This time the left foot is staying where it is and your right foot is going to step back behind you. Once that right foot steps back, you lower the right knee and release those right toes. Just walk the hands back towards that left foot and check in. Make sure the left knee is directly on top of that left ankle. And then whenever you're ready, inhale to sweep the hands to the sky, finding your low lunge. Thinking about creating space for the front of the body by softening the chest down away from the ears. And really releasing those hips down to the ground. Really nice, guys. Take one more full deep breath in. As you exhale, open the arms up, find that cactus shape. You might notice that now that we've done this cactus shape a few times, that maybe you find it a little bit easier to allow the chest to shine forwards. If not, that's completely fine as well, but just take this moment now just to tune in with how the body feels. Take a deep breath in, and with an exhale, round through the spine, bring the forearms together. Inhale, we open up, finding that cactus, spreading the fingers, allowing the chest to shine forwards. Exhale, we round it down. Really good. One more time, opening up through the chest. Make this cactus as wide as you can. Take up as much space as possible with the front of your body, and maybe look up to the ceiling, allowing yourself to really expand. Take a full deep breath in. Exhale, hands are going to come down to frame that front foot. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee away from the ground. Shifting the weight forward, the right foot steps up to meet the left forward fold. Pause here in your forward fold for just a moment. Allow yourself to find some softness. With an inhale, we lift up halfway, hands to shins, nice flat back here. Think about creating length through the spine. Exhale, soften the chest down. Root to rise, push through those feet. Inhale to sweep those hands up and overhead. Exhale, bringing those hands together at the heart. Really good. Inhale, sweep through those fingertips. Maybe you look up towards the hands as they reach above the head. And exhale, you hinge from the hips, folding forwards. Inhale lifts you halfway, nice flat back. And exhale, you soften the chest down. Plant the hands, step both feet back, find your plank pose. This is our final plank pose. So really think about pushing the weight through the hands, doming through the shoulders. Take a full deep breath in. You might lower down through knees, chest, chin like we did before, or if you want to challenge the body a little further, you might be able to shift the weight into the toes and think about bending through the elbows, lowering in one long line. We'll all bring the hips down to the ground and release the toes. Hands can stay framing the rib cage. You might roll the shoulders back, squeezing the elbows in to find your cobra. Or if you'd like to find your upward facing dog, then you'll straighten the arms and lift the thighs. Wherever you are, your exhale helps you to lift the hips to the sky. Downward dog. This is our final downward facing dog. So just think about allowing the chest to move in towards those thighs, taking one final opportunity to lengthen that spine. We'll take one more full deep breath in together, in through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. And with our next inhale, we look forward to the hands. You've got three options here. We're traveling to the front of the mat. If you'd like to tiptoe, take those tiptoe steps. If you want to take your two big steps, then take those two big steps. Or if you want to play around with jumping forward. Bend into the knees. Allow the chest to come down towards the thighs and look towards the hands. Take a deep breath in and then spring forward, finding that forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, we lift up halfway, hands to shins. And exhale, we soften the chest down. One final time, we're going to root to rise. Really push through the feet. Inhale, sweeping the arms wide as they reach up and overhead. Create length through the spine. Exhale, bring the hands together at the heart. Really good. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, bring those hands down to the heart. And then straight away, hinge from your hips, folding forward, bringing the hands in front of the feet. You might like to bring the feet slightly wider. And then gently, we're just going to bend through the knees and come to find a seated position. You might use the hands to assist you, or just gently lower your seat down. Get there however feels best for you. And once we find our seated position, we're going to take a bend in the knees. You want to start walking the feet back towards the body, thinking about creating length through the spine as you allow the chest to come towards the thighs. And then you might bring the hands behind the thighs as we start to move towards our boat pose, Navasana. So really think about lengthening the spine and opening the chest, and then tilt the weight backwards. So you come to rest on the sitting bones and hover those toes. This might be where you stay for your boat pose. If you're feeling stable here, then you might be able to lift those legs out slightly, bringing them parallel with the ground. Final option, if you're feeling steady wherever you are, you might bring the arms out to the sides. But whichever version you've taken, really think about opening through the chest. We're holding here for 3, finding that nice long spine. For 2, lifting through the chest. For 1, taking a deep breath in. And exhale, we soften the feet back down, give yourself a squeeze. Really nice, guys. And then once you've released from that squeeze, we're coming back to the seated position we found at the beginning of our practice. I want you to find a position where your legs can be heavy, where you can root down and relax through the lower part of the body. And then think about lengthening that spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Close the eyes here. We'll take a big deep breath in through the nose and a full exhale out through the mouth. One final time, we're going to reach the fingertips up towards the sky as we inhale. Really think about creating length. You have those sitting bones on the ground to ground you down into that mat, and that means you can grow tall through the rest of the body. Take a full inhale here. As you exhale, open those arms up, cactus shape. Allow yourself to shine forwards, thinking about taking this movement into the rest of your day, allowing that space that you've created through the front of the body to guide you through the rest of your day. Take one more full deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands together at the heart. Just take a moment here, pausing in gratitude for yourself for taking the time out of your day to practice yoga. I hope you're feeling a lot more open through the front of the body and that you enjoyed your yoga practice for working from home. A big, big thank you from me for practicing with me today. Namaste.